Hello everybody and welcome back. Today we're going to start a new project, and this is in a commercial apartment building. And right now before you see two very large Teledyne Lars 1,000,000+ BTU boilers each. We are not actually touching these boilers today. That's going to be a later project at a later time. But this right here is what we're going to be adjusting and changing. The baby sister to this room, which is about 500,000 BTU domestic hot water boiler, and it is connected to this very large storage tank. And both of these are going to be removed out of this room, and in turn we are going to be putting in this corner a new domestic hot water heating system. We're actually going to be putting in 2 IBC boilers as well as 2 storage tanks, and we're going to see what we can do to make this look a lot more cleaner and just a better setup overall. There's going to be a few changes here and a few changes there, but we are going to update this to a high efficiency setup. We are going to also be abandoning the existing natural draft exhaust for this one at least, and we're going to have to be venting it outside in a temporary fashion, permanently / temporary fashion, until these eventually do get changed out and we can use the main stack up here to vent everything out through the roof. But that will be at a later point. So we will be in touch shortly and see what our progress is in the coming week. And we're back, guys. We have completed this domestic hot water boiler system retrofit. We have still left the existing equipment right here, which we will remove when time is available to us. But for now, we have this apartment building running off the new system. We have installed 2 Navien NFB-399 commercial boilers. Quite heavy units. I think once there's water in them, they weigh about 350 pounds. We actually just put some extra support brackets here along with a wall mounting kit. We have both boilers set up, cascading together. One is our obvious master, and Navien makes it really easy to set up its controls. And then of course we have our slave over here on standby. We completed everything doing a primary secondary setup, and then over here we have our secondary system that goes to indirect hot water heater number 1 and 2, and they have their own circulator pumps. Everything of course is wired back in to switches so that we have easy control over it, and of course the controls for the domestic hot water. Now we have a demand right now, so currently the master is fired up, and we'll see our thermometer is right now currently delivering at 139. We have the system set for about 135 for this particular setup. Pretty simple concept: indirect hot water tank, boiler water going into a coil, and then we have domestic hot water coming in and then of course coming out. And same with this one over here. Redundancy has been put into this system, so if one boiler goes down or one tank goes down, we still have a backup either or. And of course that does make a big difference if there is a failure to have that backup, because the old system just had one old, I believe, Teledyne Lars boiler right here, and it has been now finally decommissioned. It just needs to be removed out of this building. Over here we have our Amtrol expansion tank. We made sure we put right here a shut-off secured, make sure nobody shuts it off, because obviously that's a safety issue. That's what the local boiler inspector wants. And then of course we have a drain, so we can actually drain the water out and make sure we fill it up and charge it to the desired pressure. And at this point I think it's about 15-18 psi, which is what we have these boilers set to. And then of course up here we have our pressure relief valve that will discharge. It's marked when it was installed, and they like to see it when we test these, sometimes on an annual basis, with our auto vent, getting rid of any of the air in the system. Condensate traps over here, one for each boiler. we actually have the trap here and the acid neutralizer, and each one does it independently. It's easy to service, take these off, and also take off the trap if need be. And the gas lines that we ran over here, it's just 7 inches of water column. We mark them as per the gas inspector and the BC Technical Safety Authority requires, especially in a commercial application. And all in all, it actually turned out really well. One small thing we had to do in this particular system, because we couldn't get the right tanks that we wanted, we actually had to increase our piping size slightly to 2.5 inch, but in the end it actually worked out quite well for the setup. Just cost a few extra dollars, but ultimately the system now is done the way it should be done. So anyways guys, hopefully you enjoyed this brief little tutorial of an install with these new commercial Navien NFB boilers with the IBC and direct hot water tanks. And we'll see you guys for the next install. Take care.